they ask me, they do this frequently, try to embarrass me. They say, "Are you going to stay in the race?" I'm going to stay in as long as my supporters want me in there. Because it's your revolution and it's our time to get a message out and to change this country and take our country back. I don't know, I assume most of you watch the debates? Stated it when I said it sounded pretty silly. It is true, we're not at the top of the heap, but we're moving. Once there were 11, now there are 4. There's a lot of people who believe this can't be the end, this has to be the beginning, so regardless of what comes up tomorrow, the next day, we know we're in this for the long haul. Yes, sir! It does exasperate me at times when you hear questions asked like tonight, what are you going to do? How are you going to manage the economy? You know? It's like saying, how am I going to manage your lives? That's the whole thing. I would like to be president because I don't want to manage your lives. I'm not supposed to manage the economy either. You're supposed to spend your own money. We certainly need to wake up and find out that this country is supposed to mind our own business and not tell other countries how to live either. How to get back on the right track and get this budget under control. $1 trillion a year to manage an empire, totally unnecessary. What we want to do is bring the troops home. Just the Middle East, that means Europe and Japan. Very serious problems because we have an attitude in this country that has unfortunately been prevailing for quite a few years, but it got a lot worse after 9/11. And that is, there are too many people in this country, hopefully we can make them the minority, where they think that sacrificing liberty is a benefit, that we're safer. We're not safer by sacrificing. And yet, this is the status today, you know, under conditions of war, the people are supposed to sacrifice their liberty, so there's a war going on in Iraq and around the world. And then this notion that we have to have this perpetual war against terrorism means one thing. They want to put fear into our hearts so that we give up our liberties, and unfortunately that has been what's happening. The President and the executive branch have been doing this for years, and the real tragedy is that Congress won't even stand up and fight for our freedoms either. And you know, it really isn't that complicated. I'm sure I brought the subject up tonight. I usually do. And that is, the problems are out there. We got there because one thing we did wrong, and that is we don't obey the law. And that's why we can solve a lot of our problems just by obeying the Constitution. Genius to figure it out. The Constitution was written to restrain the government. I constantly ask, you know, our position on taxes is not too difficult, what we want to do there. But the question I always get is, what are you going to do? How's the government going to be run if you don't have an income tax? And I say, what tax are we going to have? Like, nothing. That won't work unless we cut spending. Really, the key question that we as a people, and actually the younger generation, will have to answer in time is, what should the role of government be? And the role of government ought to be protection of liberty. Protection of liberty is what it should be involved in. Our freedoms come to us in a natural way, a God-given way, because the government should be very limited for the protection of those liberties. There's a full faith and confidence that free people are quite capable of taking care of themselves. Over the many years has been that we come up short in the defense of freedom because the liberal big spenders take the moral high ground and say that those who believe in liberty and free markets have no compassion. Well, you know, the other side believes in equality. Yes, there is such a thing as equality before the law and in justice, but equality of economic opportunity, equality in economics, yes, they can achieve it. But usually by impoverishing everybody, and that's what we don't need. Amen.